Set 2 questions 5 to 8. Answer the questions on the basis of the information given below. The following table shows the schedule of 22 different bus services operating from Ayodhya. Type and name of service. There are ordinary services, express services, and luxury services, deluxe services, and high-tech services. And there are lots of buses, service numbers or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, all the way till V. Okay, so there are 22 services. For each service, we know the departure time, the destination city where it is headed from Ayodhya, and then we know the number of halts, then the direction of the destination city with respect to Ayodhya. For example, Dwarka is north of Ayodhya, Brindavan is west of Ayodhya, Ujjain is south of Ayodhya, and so on. And the journey time is 10 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, so on. Earnings per trip you get 4,500 and the total distance is 300 kilometers. So we understand what the table is. What kind of a service is it? What service, which bus is it? Which trip is it? The time, the number of halts, destination city, direction, journey time, maximum revenue, earnings per trip, and the distance. In some places, we also have maximum number of reservable seats. Okay. Now, looking at the questions, there's nothing else we could do from this alone. For how many bus services which travel towards east from Ayodhya? They have to travel east. That's the first condition. Okay. They have to travel east from Ayodhya. But they have to depart after 12 noon every day. So, after 12 noon every day. Okay. And the earnings per kilometer must be more than 18. More than 18 rupees per kilometer. So, earnings by kilometers should be greater than 18. It should satisfy the three conditions. The question is, for how many such buses will these three conditions be satisfied? Let's look at it this way. They have to go east. They have to go east means here we have one such trip, right? And then we have another such trip. There are two trips on this page. We'll go to the next page again. They have to start after 12 noon. Yes, this starts after 12 noon. This also starts after 12 noon. What else is asked? The revenue per trip should be greater than 18 rupees per kilometer. Check this. 7500 by 420. 420 is the number of kilometers. So, 7500 by 420, is it greater than 18 or not? For that, what we'll do better? Just multiply 420 by 18. 400 into 18 plus 20 into 18. 400 into 18, that's 7200. 20 into 18, that would be 360. 7200 plus 360 is 7560. But here we can see it's only 7500. So, it's not 18 rupees. The next one, while distance is 420, this is only 7000, not even 7500. But what do I want? I am looking for 7560. So, nothing on this page satisfies the condition. Anything else on the next page? We have another east, no other east. Okay, east, does this start after 12 noon? Yes, it starts after 12 noon. What about this 420? We just calculated 420 into 18 is 7560 and this is 8400. So, all of them are satisfied and there's no other trip which satisfies all these conditions. So, what's the answer for how many bus services? Only one bus service, which is this Q bus service going towards Vaishali. Okay, we'll look at the next question. How many times in a day does it happen that the next service to leave Ayodhya immediately after an ordinary service is an express service? Okay. In a day, how many times does it happen that the next service to leave Ayodhya immediately after an ordinary service? Meaning, how many times do we have an ordinary service immediately following an express service to leave Ayodhya preceding it? We should have an ordinary service and immediately after that, we should have an express service. How many times in a day does that happen? Let's check. Let's look at all the express services. We have only, so these are luxury, so we have only express services. How many of them are coming immediately after an ordinary service? Let's look at this first one, this 1:30 early in the morning, in the night, 1:30 in the night trip, right? This one starts at 1:30. Right before that, we have a 12:15 trip, which is an ordinary one, but this is not sufficient. We need to exclude if there are any of the other two services in that time. This one, the earliest is at 5:15. This one starts in the evening. This one starts in the afternoon. So, earliest is 5:15. There's no way it can come before this. So, 1:30, the service right before that is definitely an ordinary service at 12:15 in the night. So that's one such trip. Okay. What about the 6:15? The 6:15 in the morning trip. Before that, we have a 4:45 trip. But let's see if there's anything else between 4:45 and 6:15. There's a 5:15 trip. So clearly, this one is not coming immediately after an ordinary trip. What about this 8:30 trip? Before 8:30, we have a 4:45 here. But after 4:45, we have seen there's a 6:15 and there's something else. So this also doesn't satisfy. What about the 12:45 trip? The 12:45 trip seems to come after 11:15 trip. But is there any other trip from 11:15 to 12:45? Let's check. 11:15, there's nothing after 11:15, nothing after 11:15. So this one 12:45 trip also we can say is coming immediately after an ordinary service. There's nothing in between ordinary service and this 12:45 trip. Next, what about this 15 o'clock? This is 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Right before that, we have a 11:15 trip, nothing else. But right after the 11:15 trip, we have a 12:45 trip and others, right? So we can't say this trip K is coming immediately after an ordinary service. The next one, 18:15. 18:15 is 6:15 p.m. Before that, we have a 15:30. Let's say if we have anything else. 16, what we have here, it's a 16:15, right? We don't, this is 16:25 comes after. This comes before and this one comes right before, right? This trip is a 18:15 trip, which is a 6:15 p.m. Right before that, we have an 18 o'clock actually. So this one also does not satisfy. Okay, what about this 21:15? 21:15 is 9:15 in the night. Before that, we have an 8:30 p.m. Do we have anything else in that time? No. So that means out of this GHI, JK, LM, out of the 7 services, these 3 services G, J and M, right, follow immediately after ordinary bus services. Next question. How many of the given bus services are headed for a destination city which is not more than 450 km away from Ayodhya and take less than 10 hours for their journey? So they need to take less than 10 hours and not more than 450 kilometers away. So less than or equal to 450 kilometers should be the distance. Okay. So how many of the given bus services are headed this way? Let's go one by one. So we need this distance less than or equal to 450 and the travel time to be less than 10 hours. So less than 10, this is gone, this is gone, this is eligible, yes. Less than 10 hours and less than or equal to 450, yes. This one's also eligible. This one's also eligible. This one's eligible. This one's eligible. This one's also eligible. This one is also eligible. This one's also eligible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 on this page. And then previously we had 8. On this page, we have 9, 10, 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. So that's a total of 16. Let's look at the next question. The capacity of a luxury service is 60. Okay, these are the luxury services. If all luxury services run at full capacity, then the average earnings per head per kilometer. So we are saying the capacity of a luxury service is 60. This is the maximum reservable seats. Maximum reservable seats are 60 of a luxury service. Okay. If all luxury services run at full capacity, then the average earnings per head per kilometer of journey for any luxury service are maximum for the journey towards the destination city of Ujjain, Gandhara, Kalinga and Vaishali. We want this to be maximum. Now, what we want to be maximum? We want the average earnings per head per kilometer, per number of heads into kilometer. Now, for each of them, we'll be writing 60 anyway, right? So that's really not a problem. The number of heads that should not affect, only the earnings per kilometer should affect. Look at this, earnings of 5400 plus for 200 kilometers. 5400 by 200, that's 27. 7200 by 300, that's 24. 9000 by 450, that's 20. 8400 by 420, that's 20. So it is clearly, very clearly highest for the one that's traveling towards Ujjain. That would be option A.